Welcome to the premiere of RSR5. Today we are reviewing Mississippi State 19, Illinois 10. Mississippi State wins one from Mike Leach. They swing their sword and they wrap this one in maroon and white. Mississippi State wins the ReliaQuest Bowl 2023. Not the easiest way. I thought they'd roll Illinois. They did not roll them. They certainly won, though. They got it done. They played till the clock said 0-0-0. They honestly did. And a little bit more than that. They got it done. Great win. First quarter, there were no scores in the first quarter. Two starting drives that were absolutely horrible from both sides. Mississippi State starts with a ball. They collapse like a Jenga shack, play horribly. Illinois does the same. They both get the ball back. They have better drives on their second drive, but again, they don't score on their second drives. Late in the second quarter, we got our first points. Tommy DeVito with a 2-yard touchdown run to punch it in for Illinois to score the first touchdown of the game and the first points of the game. Tommy DeVito playing okay. Not bad, not great. I think if quarterback play is improved upon with Illinois, they could be better next season. I think Luke Altmaier, formerly Ole Miss, will do that, but we will talk about that later if I were you, part of the segment. But with that being said, 7-0 Illinois. Extra point was good. Then right before the half, Massimo Biscardi kicks a 38-yard field goal to make it 3-7. Good field goal. Easy as you like. Ironically enough, 3-7, that's the way it would go into half, and I was okay with it. With the way that first half went down, it was a complete clown show, and I thought definitely losing 3-7 was honestly better than where we were in the first quarter and most of the second quarter. Then Illinois gets the ball back. Caleb Griffin scores a 52-yard field goal after missing a horrible field goal in the first quarter. Redeems himself with a 52-yarder, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Looked like it was probably going to sail off if he was about 5 yards back, but again, he got this one. 3-10, Illinois. That was the only scoring in the third quarter. Then the fourth quarter, it got a bit crazier. Justin Robinson with an 8-yard touchdown catch. Will Rogers, 4th down and 2. Again, on the 8. They had to at least convert here, if not score, and they just said, screw it, we're going to the end zone. They do. Robinson brings his foot down in the end zone, right on the line, like right this close. Like if I took a card about this thick in between the last of the green and the outside. But he kept his foot in. 2 of the angles set it. One of the angles looked like he may not have, but majority rules, I guess. They couldn't overturn it. It's a touchdown, 8-yard touchdown catch for Justin Robinson from Mississippi State. Biscardi gets the extra point. It is 10-10. Then, with 7 seconds left, State is in field goal range, 27-yard field goal after taking the timeout after Rogers kneeled out in the center of the red zone to line up the kick. Biscardi chip shot after being iced twice, gets to take the kick, puts it up and through. Fratello Massimo Biscardi, the Italian stallion, in his final ever college game, scores a field goal to put State up 13-10, but they had to kick off. It gets squibbed. Illinois falls on it. They have 3 seconds left, and they try to hook and ladder their way to the end zone. But in the end, they don't. It bounces right in front of Banks on Mississippi State, and he takes it to the house. The ball was not dead. He takes it to the house, scoops it up, brings it into the end zone to make it 19-10. No extra point because it was 0-0-0. They didn't want to kick it. There was almost a fight. And they just said, hey, let's just end it. 19-10, Mississippi State wins. They wrapped it in maroon and white. They won in honor of Mike Leach. They swung their sword. Zach Arnett gets his first win as Mississippi State head coach, 19-10. Builds on that into the 2023-24 season into spring ball and hopefully into training camp and into the season. Was it the best win? No. Was it a good win? Yes. They'll still be ranked at the end of the year, at the end of the season. When the final rankings come out, they'll still be ranked. They'll still build up. They'll still be in good position. And hopefully, Mississippi State can build on this. 9-4, their first 9-win season since 2017. State definitely defensively today was amazing. Defensively, Zach Arnett, his bread and butter, ironically enough, our new head coach, is all defense, no offense. Just like Mike Leach was all offense, no defense. That's why he's here, Zach Arnett. In the end, head coach has no idea how to call an offense, which kind of hurt us today because defensively we were amazing, as I expected. I was not worried about that. Offensively, though, little ball coach, Spurrier Jr., no. One thing I do know about this game, even if State won or lost, is Spurrier Jr. did not earn the permanent offensive coordinator job. Oh, no, he did not. My God. Yeah, he had a couple of trick plays up his sleeve, and they figured some out in the second half, and the defense did enough to put him in position where they could figure some out, and it wasn't a complete blowout. So, in the end, good for them. I don't know who to put it on. Spurrier Jr., little ball coach, Will, or the rest of the offense. I'm not putting it on Arnett. I damn well know I'm not putting it there. So, with that being said, that's very interesting, I have to say. That is very, very interesting. I don't know where they're going to go for offensive coordinator, but offense is where most of my gripes came today for Mississippi State. Defensively, great. I'm happy with the defense. It was a great performance. Emmanuel Forbes had a great game before he gets into the NFL draft. The NFL, he will be drafted, I'm sure. Jet Johnson coming back for next year, but Jet Johnson, amazing. 7 sacks by Mississippi State's defense. As I expected, smash mouth. Amazing. Amazing. Smash mouth defense from Mississippi State. Offensively, though, milquetoast. Which I'm not surprised because Mike Leach is definitely a better offensive mind than little ball coach Spurrier Jr. So, of course, it's going to be a little bit more piecemeal, of course. You lost one of the best offensive minds of all time, Mike Leach. For a bowl game, you may be playing for him, but it's definitely going to be piecemeal. I can understand that. Now, you damn well know you have to go get a damn good offensive coordinator, Mississippi State. You know that right now. You probably knew that as soon as Arnett got the job. But now you know more than anything. Whether it be Dan Mullen, Matt Mummy, Hal Mummy's son, you can't get Graham Harrell. Maybe Cliff Kingsbury if he gets fired, or when he gets fired. That would be great. I say Mullen is probably the safe bet, considering Parson is sort of more his quarterback, plus the air raid, you know. I think we could find a good mesh of what Arnett does, what Mullen does, and what Leach does, and put it all together. And that may be great, frankly. I'm honestly backing Dan Mullen to come home, frankly. But, with that being said, we'll talk about that later. Defensively, amazing. Offensively, milquetoast. If I were used, Illinois, great game from Illinois. Brett Bielema's got them playing well. Defensively, amazing. They're amazing as well. A well-coached defensive team, a strong defensive team. That line is amazing. And that safeties group, the defensive backs, they're good too. They only allowed 12 points per game this season. I'm sure this game, I don't think a defensive return really should count against them, but, well, the defense wasn't even out there. But with that being said, that defense on points they actually allowed, they only allowed 13, so that's about right where they are. So, Illinois defense, if they build on that, which I'm sure they will, that seems like Bielema's bread and butter, they should be good next year in the Big Ten. As well, will Luke Altmaier, I think he's better than Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito was not bad today. I cannot say he was bad. He was good, but he wasn't great. In the Big Ten, even though it might be a fraudulent conference besides the big three of Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State, you almost beat Michigan this year. The thing is, for me, I think Altmaier's a better quarterback than Tommy DeVito. So I think that's a good transfer for Illinois. I think that's good for next year. That makes them better. And their running backs picked up where they left off. So I think Illinois should be much better next year, just as good, if not better. 8-4, I'm sure they'll probably only lose 2 games, win 10, be in the line for their division. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it, because Illinois, they're building something good up there in Champaign. They're building something good up there. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Because, I mean, yeah, I want them to do good. I mean, why not? So, I'd rather them do good than Mizzou. If I had to pick some from the bi-state area, I'd rather Illinois do good. So, it's good to see. It's good to see. So, good for them. I hope they build on it. Brett Bielema's a damn good coach. And they got some good times ahead. They're a damn good, tough team. And it was nice to see. It's more SEC-ish than Big Ten-ish. And that's a good thing, I think. They could beat anybody. If they get to the playoff or a big bowl, they could beat anybody. Unlike Michigan or Ohio State, because Ohio State has no secondary. And Michigan, well, you fumbled at the 1-yard line and you blew it against TCU. I mean, you let the Big Ten finally get a playoff win. TCU's not a bad team, but Michigan, I thought they were better than that. Harbaugh can't win bowl games. So, at least, and Penn State, well, they're there, right? They're there. But if Michigan and Ohio State can't win, you think Penn State will? Against anybody better than Utah? Yeah, I think Illinois actually could definitely do good in the Big Ten if they could build on this and hold it for years. They're ascending, and I like to see it. I'm happy for them. Mississippi State. That was the luckiest win. It wasn't lucky, but it was definitely a defense busted their ass, and the offense did enough, which is exactly how things have been under Mike Leach and Zach Arnett, which is why I have no problem with Arnett being the head coach, and I'm not mad at him. I'm not putting anything on him, and if we would have lost, I wouldn't have put it on him because it wasn't his fault. He did what he had to do. He controlled the guys that he knows, that he has, that he understands. He had his defense playing well. I can't blame Arnett for being close or had it been a loss. I can't blame him. Again, I think offensively was the problem. But again, Will Rogers figured out a way to get enough points to win this game. Even before the scoop and score, little ball coach Spurrier Jr. did enough. I don't think he was great. I'm not saying he should be off the staff. He was a good receivers coach. I don't think he should be the OC, frankly, personally. I'm for Mullen or Cliff Kingsbury. That's basically where we have to go. But, hell, you could tell Mullen, you ain't got to recruit, frankly. You ain't got to recruit. He probably will, but you ain't got to recruit much. Just have to do the bare minimum, and he'd probably be fine with it. If you give him enough money and tell him, hey, you ain't got to recruit much, he'll probably come back home. Why not? Especially if you sell it like, hey, Mike Leach should be proud of you if he came back home and at least helped us offensively for a good 2 or 3 years. If you want to move on, that's great. But at least get us through this cycle and let us ascend again. I'm good with it. Is that nostalgia talking? Maybe, but whatever. Defensively, I think State's fine. Offensively, the one thing I hope offensively, and I know Will Rogers led us to a win, but the one thing I hope offensively about Mississippi State next year is that in spring ball and training camp, Chris Parson, gets the commit, the true freshman quarterback gets a chance to fight for the job, because I think he fits better what a Mullen type OC or any air raid OC would do. Because if you look at Hendon Hooker, That's exactly what Parson can do. Now, is he a true freshman? Yes. Could we run 2 QB sets? Maybe. I wouldn't be against it. Is it possible? Definitely. But I would honestly say I want to see how Parson throws, because I know he can run, and we need a running quarterback. But you need to know that he could throw, right? You need to know that he could throw, that he could push forward and stretch the field. Because if he's just in there to scramble, and he's in there, and it's not Will, it's like, yep, we know what they're doing. It's probably more likely that he's sparingly used, sort of like Keaton Thompson back in the day, if he doesn't win the starting job. If it was me, personally, I think Parson could easily start as a true freshman. I'm not disparaging Will, but he's not great. He's not great. He's not even good. He's mid. He does enough. Great. Good. How does a mid quarterback have all our records? I know he played as a freshman. I know I saw it. It just doesn't make any sense. I watched it all. It just doesn't make any sense. So for me, personally, Will Rogers, I want to see him fight for the starting job. I'm not saying he'll lose it. I want to see him fight for it against Parson in spring ball and training camp. That's all I want to see. So yeah, that's a little bit of a review of the game, and that's also a look to the future, but I'm happy with the win. State won for Mike Leach. They swung their sword. They got it done. Thank God. And in the end, State got it done. They beat Illinois 2 in a row, because the last time they played them was 1980, under Emery Ballard. And they won. I wasn't alive for it, but at least I watched that highlight pack State put on their YouTube a couple of days ago. So, 2 straight wins against Illinois. We won again by a 1-digit lead, or 9 points. But again, more than 7, but still. Good for State. Good. Lovely. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and share, subscribe, you know what it is. Tell your friends, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification once subscribed, send super chats on the live streams, comment on this video, put it to play, share with friends and family, all that great stuff. I shall see you on January 5th. If Canada makes the World Juniors final, I'll review that. I'll be here for it. And if Toronto FC makes any signings in between, or any big MLS signings that I need to talk about, I will. But got 3 days. I don't know if that'll happen. It doesn't seem like anything's really coming out of the rumor mill yet. So whether it's TFC or some really big in MLS. So probably January 5th. Unless Canada bottles it in the semis against the USA. So probably the 5th. If not then, the 9th. At least as far as I know. So with that being said, Happy New Year, y'all. Hail State. Swing your sword. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace.